So what do you do for company? For the first time, he hesitates. I lift my hands in a peaceful gesture. I don't mean to pry. Really, I'm asking because I could use some advice myself. But he hedges.
You could probably give me some pointers.
I nearly snort. Don't take advice from me. I'm days away from paying for it.
And here I thought you were a nice girl.
He kids. Come on, Michael. We both know nice girls finish last. He cocks his head and narrows his eyes in disbelief.
You mean to tell me the good doctor doesn't get what she wants? Somehow I find that hard to believe.
I can assure you, the woman of fortune and fame fantasy is much sexier than the reality.
So's the one about the most eligible bachelor.
Touché. The quickening breeze blows my hair across my face, and I smooth it back. So what do you want that you can't have?
Companionship.
He says it as if the answer is obvious. I quell my temptation to dismiss the sentiment, however improbable it sounds. I'll bet you could find that if you wanted it. You recruited me easily enough. Something in his gaze sobers.
You want the truth?
I always want the truth. Trepidation crosses his face. He takes a breath before he speaks again.
The truth is, I like you. I think you're the kind of girl I'd like to have dinner with and take to social functions. I think we'd have more good conversation, some fun times, and sizzling hot sex.
He pauses long enough to measure my reaction. In the dark, he can't see the goosebumps that prickle my flesh.
I'd give a lot for a real shot at an uncomplicated relationship with an interesting worldly woman. But I don't need to start something with you to know how it'll end. Not for lack of trying. I've stopped wanting what I can't have, and dating women who want what I can't give. Sooner or later, smart women always want it all.
I let out a measured breath. Wow, that's presumptuous, I want to say. Instead, I settle on perplexing.
It's not, Darby.
His tone is disarming.
It's what happens when you're a 30-year-old guy who doesn't want a 20-year-old girl. Women our age want more. It's a biological instinct.
The tops of my cheeks grow hot, and my eyebrows raise. Says the man who commiserated with me over my friend asking when I would find a husband. But the repentant look I expect from having placed his foot solidly in his mouth never crosses his face.
Look,
he continues,
I get that not all women want huge diamond rings or white picket fences. But just because I know that projecting those expectations on people is wrong doesn't mean I think women want to be alone.
And men do?
No, but companionship looks different to men than it does to women.
I shake my head and look out toward the water. He isn't entirely wrong, but he isn't right either. The assertion that wanting unattached companionship is a guy thing is ludicrous. I know my share of women who are obsessed with getting a man to commit. I admit.
But
I swing my gaze back to his face. He smiles cautiously, seeming to sense an unfavorable reaction. But your view of women is short-sighted and borderline sexist. I bite my tongue again. Biological clocks and maternal instincts aren't something all women have. If you think there aren't plenty of single women who want to stay that way, you're sorely mistaken. My parents' marriage was a disaster. The career I love has me working just as many hours as you do, probably more. The last thing I need is to come home after a hard day to a man who's biologically incapable of not needing his ego stroked. The widening of his eyes shows he is without retort. I go on, bent on driving home my point. And because I can't find a man who wants nothing more than to give me 4 toe-curling orgasms twice a week and then get the hell out of my house, I trail off. His Adam's apple bobs. What other reactions have my words caused? His silence feels like victory, and I pull the champagne bottle from his loosened grip to pour out what's left. It takes him a moment to remember to hold up his glass. Mic drop.